ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. The Bahamas opening up competition today at the CONCACAF Beach Soccer Championships in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. It was a good start for the 2-4-2, scoring a 7-4 win over Antigua and Barbuda. They got 2 goals apiece from Kyle Williams and John Francois. The other 3 came from Gary Joseph, Leslie St. Fleur, and Tim Munnings Jr. Team Bahamas is back on the sand again on Wednesday against Bonaire. The Sam Haven National High School Soccer Championships closing out on Saturday night at the Roscoe Davies pitch. In senior girls play, it was all about the Lyford Key Dragons. Paige Smith scored a hat trick +1. Veronica Miranda adding 2 other goals as Lyford Key won the title in a rout 6-1 over the Tabernacle Falcons.
Some of these girls, I've been going to school with them for 13 years now, and others I've known for a very long time. So I've been playing with a lot of them, in different programs. So I know my players really well, and I love them so much. So I feel like all of us have this mutual respect and mutual love for each other, and it just translates on the football field.
I've been playing soccer since I was 3, so I, again, know all the girls on my team. We've been playing for so long. We have such good chemistry. But I think we've come too far to give up, and we really pulled through, and we played really well as a team.
Our youngest is in 7th grade, and she's a starter, and then we have a number of girls that are in 8th grade. Most of them, we have 1 senior, 1 or 2 seniors, so it's a young team. So we're hoping to come back next year.
In the senior boys title match, a lot of fireworks early on between Lyford Key and the C.R. Walker Knights. Lyford Key scored twice, and C.R. Walker pulled 1 back within the first 10 minutes. The Knights would eventually tie things up, but just before the half, the Dragons regained the lead at 3-2, and that advantage would hold up. Both teams scored twice in the second half, Lyford Key making it 2-for-2, winning the championship 5-4. The boys' bronze medal match, not as close. This one all about the Aquinas Aces. They made it to the podium with a 5-2 win over Tabernacle.
It showed that Aquinas is really building, and in terms of soccer, we're improving. And so the ratings are now up for Aquinas. And you see, you have to just understand what game is. Game is a game of chance, but you also have to display talent. And so with talent, discipline, then, that's how victory comes. So I'm proud of the boys, and the boys really did well.
No goals scored in the senior girls bronze medal match between C.R. Walker and Anatole Rogers. This one went to a penalty shootout with Anatole coming out on top.
Over into penalty shootout, 5 players, and 2 scored from both teams. Still went into overtime, and sudden death, and our girls were able to take it over. So it's a good win.
Both goalies defended their goal very well, and then it came down to it went from the 5, and then it went down to everyone. So Anatole was successful in kicking the first goal in, so they won the game.
Stubbs returned as president of the Bahamas Bodybuilding and Fitness Federation after elections over the weekend, and he plans to hit the ground running.
Our first objective would be to get a meeting together quickly with the executive team and see how best we can reset the whole 2019 schedule, and do our best to try to get the novice and the nationals championship together quickly. The month was set already for August. We will see the conditions of the athletes and where they are, because I'm sure some of them took a break or some of them were sort of probably deflated, but nonetheless we'll try to reach out to the athletes and find out where they are, whether we need to push it back another month of September, whether we can have it in August. And if we'll have it in August, it will be most likely the 3rd weekend in August. We'll do what we got to do quickly to make sure that happens. Get with the ministry, get with some corporate sponsors, and see how best we can meet the financial demands and make it happen.
Lou Rawls' Tum Tum Nairn officially launching his new book over the weekend at Nassau Stationers entitled Purpose Driven, Tum Tum signing personal copies and taking pictures.
He was always a leader. He was always a young man beyond his age, always focused. He was young, short in stature, big in heart, and was always full of wisdom.
It's amazing to see the older folks who actually came in from this morning asking what time, or are they in the right place or something, you know. It's just amazing. I had an elderly lady who sat and waited for about an hour because she said she heard a story and she was moved by his story, and she just wanted to meet him and to encourage him.
I tell people all the time, you know, this book is a result of me, you know, never giving up despite the things I was faced with in my life. So, you know, I believe a lot of people are authors, but they just don't believe they are. But I mean, I could never in a million years dream of doing something like this.
Flamingo extended to a Game 4 in the Brazilian Basketball League Best of 5 semifinals following an 81-77 Game 3 loss to Botafogo. David Nesbitt coming off the bench. He went 3 for 4 from the field, 4 of 6 at the line, finishing up with 10 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal in 19 minutes. Flamingo leads the series 2-1, and they look to move into the championship once again when they return to the court tomorrow night. The second annual Bottom of the Net basketball tournament on the floor last week at the AF Adelaide Gym. A good number of teams taking part, including those from the Family Islands.
They jumped on it quickly, you know, and we were a little surprised, you know, but they understand we need a lot of games. The guys need a lot of games, not a development. If you just search around, we have a lot of talent in Nassau, but guess what? We don't have enough games. You know, our BISS gets somewhat about 12 games, and GSSS gets something about 6 games. That's not enough games, you know. And coaching and the coaches themselves, they put in all sorts of work just to prep, just to play 6 games, you know. But that's why we need more tournaments so these guys can get more play. So when scouts or whatever come down, or when the opportunity strikes for them, they'll be up the way they need to be.
The Temple Christian Sons senior boys basketball team taking advantage of these off-season tournaments. They actually won the Noble Preparatory Tournament 2 weeks ago.
One of our centers, graduating centers, Garrett Ashcombe, he was able to capture the scholarship by earning the MVP honors in Niagara College. So tournaments like that, you know, with incentives, school is awesome. As well as just giving the kids something to do on the weekend, keep them out the streets and just keep them active.
The Cinderella season continuing for Euro Forbes and the Franklin Parish Ravens men's baseball team. After winning their last 2 games of the regular season just to qualify for the Northeast 10 Conference Tournament, the Ravens lost their second game of the tournament, forcing them into the losers bracket, but that did little to deter their confidence. The Ravens won 4 games in 3 days to take the conference title and advance to the NCAA Division II tournament for the second year in a row. Over that 4-game span, Forbes went 5 of 16 with 5 runs batted in and 3 runs scored. That included a 3-run home run. The Ravens seeded 8th in the East Regional, and they'll take on top seed Adelphi in the NCAA opener on Thursday. The Freedom Farm Baseball League celebrating its 30th anniversary with an awards banquet on Saturday night at Holy Cross. Many of the coaches, sponsors, and contributors to the league were rewarded. Founder Greg Burrows praising those for their sacrifices.
I actually don't remember all the things about Freedom Farm, but every coach who's sitting in here have different stories. They have different stories, and they must tell their version of the Freedom Farm story in their own way, so that everybody could understand that when all of us are gone, that Freedom Farm was here, and we made an impact in the lives of a lot of Bahamian men.
The local softball community saying a final farewell to one of their own on Saturday. Charles Chuckie Smith was a former national team player, also known for his days with the Budweiser Eagles.
He's one of those guys that you had to love him because of the way he behaved.
He was a guy that you love as a teammate, but hated as an opponent.
When it came to winning, Chuckie Smith may be credited with winning lots of games for the Budweiser Eagles.
Chuckie was the life of softball.
We call him fire starter because he was always ready to go.
He's a very dynamic softball player. He's a disciplinary and he likes to win.
You don't have to worry about nothing. Once you play with the Chuckster, he had your back. Everybody knows he's going to tell you what to do, what not to do, and he had a certain special way to say things to you.
And that will do it for sports. The Bahamas Tonight comes back after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.